Hi there, and welcome to our first evening show. We've been doing the morning show for about a month now, and we're jumping into an evening deal. May do it at 4:30, may do it at 6. Is this a 6 o'clock news? I don't know. We're going to figure it out as we go. It's something new that we're trying because we put a poll out there for you guys, and we got a lot of response. We appreciate that. And a lot of people wanted an evening show, so we're going to give this a shot, or later in the afternoon, rather. We're keeping the morning show, though. That was a little twist we gave the morning crowd this morning. Keeping that show intact, and we're going to try to do this twice a day. A little later this evening, had to lay out Sunday's paper, so we appreciate you joining us for our first afternoon/evening show. We may have it at variable times and just let you know ahead of time. We may keep it a surprise. I don't know. Thanks for joining us. My name is McHugh David. I'm publisher and editor of the Livingston Parish News, and I'm here to deliver this evening report. First, a lot of people have probably made it home. It is 6:05 in the evening, but we will give you a traffic report, and traffic is that there's a lot of traffic. Actually, a lot more than when I do the 7:30 morning show. Heavy delays on I-10 and 12 heading out of Baton Rouge. Delays backed up from O'Neill all the way into downtown. Really, you're going to be sitting in traffic just about all the way. Heavy delays at Jubin and 190 as well, and some delays on Lockhart. Delays at 64 hitting Highway 16. Tough night coming home. Pretty usual for the Baton Rouge area, especially coming into Livingston Parish. Currently, a lovely heated 93 degrees, 98 with the heat index outside, a little bit of wind. There is some thunder and rain in the vicinity. It looks like it's going to get down to 74 tonight. Tomorrow, 92 again, probably 74 in the evening, partly cloudy. Looking like some rain over the weekend. Tons of fun. Again, thanks for joining us. This is Evening Show. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We have all those channels. You can reach them via our website or check us out. You can search our name in any one of those platforms and find us there. Have a lot of guys in the editorial department putting out a ton of good content on all those platforms, and we'd really appreciate it if you took a look at those. Also, you can find this show and our podcast online, www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. We use Anchor FM to push our regular long-form podcast out to all of our listeners and viewers. You can check it out wherever you get your podcast, except Apple Podcasts. They're being difficult. Want to thank again Tracy Gerlinghouse, Parish Councilman from District 7, for spending a wonderful 3 hours with me yesterday. Came on the morning show, we talked about the master plan. Then we jumped into a long-form podcast where we talked about being a parish councilman, why he did it, what he's been up to, and got a little deeper on the master plan. Thanks again, Tracy, for joining us. That was tons of fun. Let's jump into our headlines for this evening. A couple of things that have remained the same from the morning show. Please remember that North Shore Technical and Community College is accepting applicants and enrollees for the fall program. So yes, they will be open at the end of August for the first, I guess you can say, wave of enrollees. That begins August 21st. I should also mention that there is a community gathering on August 6th. That's a Thursday at Walker High School for any enrollees and potential students that are interested, as well as parents who are interested in the future of that. There's also an adult education portion of their campus, so worth checking that out. Again, that's August 6th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. A reminder that there is a golf tournament coming up this Sunday, July 21st, at the Pines at North Park, which is the name of the new golf course there. It is for former Park Board of Directors President, there it is, Mr. Jimmy Purvis. Mr. Jimmy loved that park, dedicated a lot to it. It's a good event. I believe it is sold out, but there is a chance to go and give a little money. He gave a lot for that park, and if you can't make it, just keep them in your thoughts moving forward. Also, a big shout to Walker residents. Corbin Avenue is going to be closed for 2 weeks to replace catch basins and cross piping, which means they have to rip up the road. Please try to avoid that at all costs for the next 2 weeks. Even if they open it up over the weekend, it will not be good to drive on. Real quick, sort of breaking announcement. Please know that tomorrow, and we'll tell it again in the morning because this got to us a little late. The Walker Police, the distribution from Walker Police for their uniform gathering is tomorrow. It starts at 8 o'clock, and it's going to be at Walker Baptist Church Fellowship Hall, which is 10696 Florida Boulevard in Walker. That's on the east side of town. Again, the distribution by the Walker Police for their uniform drive is tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., 10696 Florida Boulevard. Any child that is enrolled in Livingston Parish Schools is eligible for that distribution. So please bring a proof of enrollment with you to that. Unfortunate story, but it's kind of breaking. There is a manhunt, or I guess you can say a man and woman hunt for 3 individuals who robbed a store at Juban Crossing. You can find their pictures online, www.livingstonparishnews.com/breaking_news. That breaking news section is free to the public. Everything else is $5 a month. That is a month. If you're having trouble staying logged in, please let us know. We'll give you a hand with that. You can email Drew at lpn1898.com. If you missed it, sorry, today was the deadline to apply for Leadership Livingston. We announced it this morning. It's been running on our website. It's a great program run through the chamber. Please check that out. If you can't, maybe you can sign up for next year. French Settlement Town meeting. That was interesting. They discussed they're looking for, well, they have someone running for chief of police, and they're also looking for a reserve officer. That story's by Drew. You can check that out online. I actually this morning jumped into some somber stuff after I did the lighthearted living lifestyle and sports stuff. So I'm going to hit that first before I get into sports, lifestyle, and arts. Please understand that during Barry or during really anything, whenever you're on Facebook, Facebook is going to deliver to you what they think you want in your timeline. Plenty of people know what that means. It's their internal algorithm, which is a mathematical formula that takes a lot of your personal data, matches it up with several pages, and first and foremost the ones you like, and then presents that information to you when they think you want it. For pages, what they do is they allow you to be viewed by 1% of your audience, and if that 1% does not pick up your content in the form of a like, a share, or comment, something like that, it just goes nowhere. It dies in the water. The reason they do that for pages is to get pages to spend money, and the reason they do that for you in terms of your timeline and the algorithm about what you want to see is basically so they can control it. So they can control it for people who spend money on their posts to boost them, who sees them and who does not. The reason I bring that up is we had a lot of confusion during Barry. We had people reach out to us on Sunday who were just seeing when we had increased the flood levels Thursday evening to say 41 feet in Denham Springs. One lady was very upset. She thought we were trying to mislead and confuse the public. I informed her that at the top of every post, which you can see, there is a timestamp on it which tells you when the post came out. That particular post was about 3 days old. It just so happened that the way it just eventually reached her. So please pay attention to those timestamps on Facebook. We had done all that Barry news breaking. We were trying to get it out. And then, of course, there were some photos of the Linder Road and Dunn Road that got a lot of conversation. And remember that Dunn Road is going to be overlaid this summer by the state or the end of this summer at the same time as Forest Alat and Buddy Ellis Road. So tons of fun coming to that area of Livingston Parish this summer. Be on the lookout for some different things happening. Interesting stories coming out of sports. Mr. William Weathers tracked down Ben McDonald. By the way, Ben McDonald's mother-in-law is the lady who works up front, Miss Margaret. She is a pistol. She's tons of fun. She is from McHugh, but she's great. She runs a tight ship here, and she got William in front of Ben, or maybe William got in front of Ben, and she got the pick on him being his mother-in-law. But Ben McDonald, just hometown hero. Great article by William Weathers online, www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. Talks about Ben, his broadcasting career. There's also a video up on Facebook we posted this morning if you want to scroll through our page and look for it. It's a little interview with Ben, quick video, a little 2-minute thing. He talks about being on camera and that sort of thing. Really interesting guy, a lot of fun. Basketball, Maurepas has named a new coach. His name's Garrett Stewart. He was the junior high coach. They're moving him on up from within the ranks. He's replacing Mr. Anton Schwartz, who had resigned, who was hired earlier in the summer and had to resign due to family concerns. Excuse me. The library system had a New York Times best-selling author come through. Her name was Claudia Gray. She actually grew up as Amy Vincent, but she was a Star Wars nerd, which is interesting, and has written a lot of things about Star Wars, worth checking out. Her books, she came through not too long ago. Oh, and we didn't get a chance yet to write it up because Rob Yarman was spending some time with 7 on 7 today, kind of wrapping that up. Southeastern was at Media Days, and Rob will be catching up with Coach Selfo and the team and the team members who went to Media Days. Get a little wrap up of that, which is going to be pretty fun leading into this upcoming season. I saw that our sports editor William Weathers did post rankings. Currently, Southeastern is projected to be about 9th in the conference, 8th or 9th out of 11 teams. And another fun story, if you go to www.livingstonparishnews.com/arts_and_entertainment, you can check out a story about a bunch of young kids who did some artwork about what summer means to them and how they feel about summer. Great pictures from from all of those kids. Just great pictures. Go check it out. www.livingstonparishnews.com. A reminder that you can find these episodes, the morning and now the evening, as well as the podcast at www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. Those are free. We do a video version, which I download this little live video, hello, and upload that for the podcast. We record a little more wide frame video and overlay the audio on it so that you can check either one of those out, video or audio, take your pick. We also upload everything to Anchor FM, which sends it out to all your podcast distributors except Apple. We're getting with Apple. We're going to make Apple do it. Also, want to recommend our app. We do have an app that you can download, iOS devices, Android devices, Google devices, whatever kind of phone you have. We also have a tablet version as well. I know a lot of people have expressed disappointment because it's still behind the paywall. However, that breaking news we do push out. So whenever we're in a disaster period or something like that, you can absolutely pay attention to those push notifications that we have. And if it's just a normal story and you don't want to read it, just swipe it right on off. Again, my name is McHugh David. I'm publisher and editor of the news. The news here is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We have great content. We're pouring it out on all of those platforms. And this has been our first our first late afternoon / evening show. There may be some times you see me sitting here after a parish council meeting, kind of breaking down what we saw and what happened. Tonight we replaced the 6 o'clock, not replaced, I'm sure a lot of you watch the 6 o'clock news instead of watching me. But we were in the 6 o'clock news time slot, and we will continue to update you as we find times for this depending on the time of day. Again, appreciate you joining us. We will be back at it tomorrow morning at 7:30, and then we'll be in the booth tomorrow afternoon, probably around 4:30. Thanks for joining us.